Hey, this is Mark Rodriguez, and you're watching WWE Aftershock. We're talking about all the cool WWE pay-per-views on the WWE Network. I just finished watching WWE Battleground. This is one of those rare moments I can actually do this like right after the theme just ended. So let's just get to it quickly before I forget what's going on while it's still fresh in my mind. So first we had the kickoff show. We had Breezango, which is Tyler Breeze and Fandango, against the Usos in a tag team match. And yeah, Tyler Breeze and Fandango actually did a good job. They, they did a good job. They didn't act like that stupid or whatever. The Usos put up a good fight. And in the end, Breezango won. And I was just kind of surprised. Like, really? They beat the Usos? Like, really? Like, I don't know. Like, I know that Tyler Breeze has, like, a big following in NXT. He's still kind of sort of new and everything. But it's like when he arrived, you didn't know what to do with him, especially with that whole thing with Rusev and Lana and Dolph Ziggler kind of fell apart and whatever. So he's just kind of there. And Fandango, he really is just there. So I guess now it's a tag team. They're gonna be like, I guess like to be taken more seriously or something. And this win against the Usos, I guess it kind of elevates them and everything. Okay, so now for the actual thing, the actual pay-per-view. First we had Sasha Banks fighting against Charlotte. Now, Charlotte's always been cheating with, with someone, like Ric Flair. Now she's got Dana Brooke. So she's saying she can't, like, beat her without Dana Brooke always interfering or whatever. It's like a tag team match now. But the big thing is that Sasha Banks is going to have, like, this mysterious person. It's like Sasha Banks, a mysterious person versus Charlotte and Dana Brooke. So yeah, everyone's taking guesses and stuff. Like people were thinking maybe it's like Nikki Bella coming back or something like that because I guess she's on the road to recovery. But the big shocker was it was Bayley for NXT, and of course Bayley had some very epic matches with Sasha Banks in NXT, and they had that 30-minute Iron Woman match that was pretty awesome. It was like the main event of NXT, one of those NXT takeovers. So that was pretty cool. So now they're fighting side by side, and the only thing I didn't like about the match is that Bayley didn't really do anything. That's the thing. She was just kind of there. Like Charlotte and Dana Brooke just got impatient, so while Bayley and them were doing all the posing and stuff, for the fans or whatever, they just jumped them, they started attacking them. You know how tag team matches always have that one guy that just gets beaten down until they could finally like tag their teammates? That was Bayley, so she was just getting beaten down a lot and everything. After that, the most she did was stuff like whenever Sasha gets pinned, she would still come in and break the pin or whatever. So she didn't do like her finishing moves or anything like that. So it was like cool to see her because she's not part of the draft. She's just like a guest star or whatever. But I wish she did more stuff. As for Sasha Banks, she did a good show. She put up a good fight there, and she did squirm her way out of Charlotte's figure eight lock, figure eight leg lock move, and she got her into the spine buster, ran into the bank statement, and she had no choice but to tap out. So they won, win for Bayley and Sasha Banks. But of course, it is a tag team match. It's not like like for a title, so the title's down the line, Charlotte's still champion. It's kind of like the old days with Nikki Bella and them. Like the only time she would lose would be on tag team matches or other such matches where the title's like not on the line. So I'm getting a little bit sick of that too. Like let's bring in more title matches, But it was good to see Bayley. I was very surprised. I guess it is like her first like official WWE debut. So that's pretty cool. Okay, then we have the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, and Braun Strowman fighting against the New Day. Xavier Woods, Big E, and Kofi Kingston. And yeah, they had this weird thing. I guess the Wyatts came back after a hiatus, and they had their creepy monologue as usual. The New Day interrupt and start acting like, hey, we bring positivity, you guys just talk creepy stuff, whatever. So now they're against them. And like Xavier Woods in particular is very creeped out by them. They had this weird kind of, I guess, horror movie montage or something where the New Day were like in the dark, in the woods or something. They get jumped by Bray Wyatt. They're surrounded by all these like thousands of fireflies and stuff. There's creepy girl in a mask and like weird. It was like a weird thing. But I guess that further creeped out Xavier Woods. So now they're coming in the match. And during the match there are times where Xavier just like freezes and like him and Bray Wyatt have a stare down and he just freezes and stuff. As you expect, Braun Strowman was the big powerhouse there. Eric was kind of cool. Whenever Big E came in, he became the powerhouse to take down all the guys. Lots of good back and forth. Eventually Xavier Woods did face his fear and attack Bray Wyatt straight on and everything. But I think Kofi tried to jump off the rope, but Bray Wyatt still tagged them, did the Sister Abigail, and they still won. So, you know, that's the thing. But, of course, it is like a random tag team thing. It's, you know, 3-on-3. The tag team titles are not on the line. So, against the New Day are still champions. It doesn't count. And apparently, I have to look this up, but apparently they're like the longest reigning WWE tag team champions ever. Like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I know they've been like that for like a long time, but wow, ever? Like, I don't know, I have to look that up. But, oh, lots of stupid themes in the New Day. They're gonna get the Bootio cereal is gonna be a real official cereal. I guess in December, I think, they're gonna actually release Pops, you know, Funko Pops of the New Day, and they all have the little unicorn things on them. So yeah, they're becoming very popular. So that, with that in mind, I was kind of thinking that they're not gonna lose their titles anytime soon because, you know. So as for Bray Wyatt and them, they're gonna get separated because of the whole draft thing. The New Day are going, I believe, to Raw. You can correct me if I'm wrong. They're going to Raw, but they're together. But Strowman by himself is going to Raw, while Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan are going to SmackDown. So it's like, is Braun Strowman just gonna be alone now? Like, I guess he's gonna have to become his own guy. I don't know how that's gonna work. But, yeah, so this was interesting. Like in my opinion, it's a good win for the Wyatt family because, well, this is the last time before they separate. I mean, maybe they'll recruit someone else or whenever, like, Luke Harper comes back. I don't know. But on the other side, it's like, they gotta win once in a while because Bray Wyatt is kind of, I mean, he's creepy. He does stalkery things. He does the promos. He blows out the lantern and all that stuff. But then, like, he loses like a bitch anyway. You know, so it doesn't matter what he does, he'll lose like a bitch anyway when the actual fight comes. So it's good that he won this time because, I mean, if he's going to be threatening, he does have to win once in a while, you know, so that when he targets the next guy, you're thinking, oh shit, you know, this is the guy who took down the New Day, you know, so yeah, it's a good win for them. We'll see what happens afterwards with the whole draft thing tomorrow with Monday Night Raw and SmackDown now on Tuesdays. It's like the first episode of Raw and the first episode of SmackDown with the whole drafting effect. So anyways, we got Rusev with Lana by his side against Zack Ryder, because Zack Ryder challenged him for the title, for the U.S. title. And, well, to be fair, Zack Ryder put up a good fight. He put up a good fight, did lots of damage. There was lots of times where Rusev would do, like, charge attacks and he would, like, sidestep him or get him out of the way and whatever. And he did knock him down with the I think it's called the bro kick, the broski boot or something like that, and stuff like that. But unfortunately, you know, in the end, Rusev still got. The moment I saw Rusev grabbing him in the allocade, I thought it was all over. But it was like weird because for a moment, Zack Ryder did like try to power out. He was starting to kind of almost stand up with Rusev still on him. But then Rusev still, like, I guess, reversed it and bent him backwards in a very painful looking position. So he did tap out. But yeah, it's weird. It's like when he did the allocate, I'm like, okay, he lost. Then he started like powering out of it. I'm like, oh, whoa, what's going on? But then Rusev did the thing and he still won anyway. So, you know, it's what you expect. Rusev won. I guess to his credit, Zack Ryder did put up a good fight though. He put up a better fight than most people that go up against Rusev actually. But I don't know what happens after this, you know. Then we have let me see who else. Okay, we got Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, and he did the whole backstory how they used to be like super best friends or whatever before like Owens turned on him, and now like all these big matches we've been seeing, like the Royal Rumble, Sami Zayn threw Kevin Owens out of the Royal Rumble, so he lost. You know, whenever he was climbing the ladder to get the Money in the Bank, Sami Zayn cost him that, you know. So he's been like, they've been kind of getting into each other's faces a lot. So this is supposed to be like the end, like the final chapter or whatever. And yeah, I gotta say it was a good match. I mean, I've seen these guys fight so many times. I was kind of like, ugh, whatever. But they actually put up a good fight when I actually, you know, started paying attention. Lots of good moves, lots of good reversals. They did like everything they could possibly do to not lose and everything. But yeah, and I thought whenever Kevin Owens did the pop-up powerbomb on him, I thought that was it. But no, he still powered through and he still beat him. Like I'm sorry, I don't really know the name of Sami Zayn's like move, but he still beat him. Like wow, it was like amazing. I was really expecting Kevin Owens to somehow get back up and keep the fight going. But apparently, oh yeah, it was like a boot. It was, I don't know what it was called. It's some kind of boot to the face. he like grabbed Owens, threw him against like the turnbuckle, ran and just booed him hard in the face. And you thought that Owens was kind of like down and out, but it was like, I'm not taking any chances. He propped him back up again. I guess, I don't know, it was weird. Like he looked at him, I guess kind of like you're my friend, I'm sorry, whatever. And then get him one more boot, and that did like seal the deal. But it's kind of weird though, because they both got drafted to, I think, Raw or whatever, but they got drafted to the same show. So, I mean, is this really over, or are they going to start fighting again? But that's the whole thing. They wanted this to end so they could move on to other guys. So, of course, the question is now, who else is Sami Zayn going to, like, fight against? Who else is Kevin Owens going to fight against, you know? Okay, so then we have Natalya versus Becky Lynch. Because Natalya, since the last match, I think Money in the Bank, whatever match it was, she turned heel now. And yeah, so she's straight up heel now. She's, you know, insulting Becky, bitch-macking her around. Every time she does something, she now, like, turns to the crowd with this, like, very arrogant look in her face that she didn't have before. You know, she's just soaking it in. She's just very cocky and full of herself. She never did that before in the other matches, you know. But to be fair, they put a hell of a fight. It was, like, one of the best matches between Natalya and a good match for Becky Lynch. I mean, Natalya targeted the legs a lot. There was a lot of, like moves where she was like bending the leg back and then grabbing her leg and slamming her knee first into the mat. A whole bunch of damaging things so that Becky would be like in horrible shape for the sharpshooter. But Becky would still somehow get up and still power through and still do a couple of moves of her own. There were several times where she would try to get her to disarm her move and stuff like that. But in the end, unfortunately, Natalya did get her in the sharpshooter. Becky did try to crawl out of it, but like Natalya kept like pulling her back near the middle of the ring. And it was a little back and forth there. I really thought that maybe that maybe Becky was going to somehow power out, but no. Natalya kept pulling her back into the middle of the ring. No choice, but Becky tapped out because, of course, her legs were in severe pain even before the sharpshooter. So Natalya wins. I don't know what's going to happen now. I don't know if they're both going to keep fighting. I believe they both got drafted to Smackdown, so they might continue the fight there. We'll have to see how it goes. And then, but yeah, it is weird seeing Natalya as a bad guy now. She was so good, and I guess that's a big deal now that people are also talking, like the commentators are like, oh, she was always so nice and helpful. Look at her new attitude. So that's the thing. But on the other side, Natalya was always like the most forgettable of all the divas. Well, except for Alicia Fox and who else? And Summer Rae. Those two are kind of forgettable too. But Natalya was kind of there. So now that she's a bad guy, and now she's got this feud with Becky Lynch, I guess that does make her more relevant now. Now she's appearing more. So I guess that's good for her in that aspect. But I also hope that Becky Lynch just kick her last next time, you know? So then we got The Miz with his wife Maryse against Darren Young with Bob Backlund backing him up. Apparently, well, Darren Young was the dude he was a tag team partner with Titus O'Neil, the Primetime Players, with the whole Miz or whatever. I don't know what happened, if he got injured or whatever, but Titus became like a solo player, and now Darren Young is like trained by Bob Backlund. It's like make Darren Young great again or whatever. I guess like the whole Trump thing, I guess, parodying that catchphrase. But there was some kind of like battle royale or something that whoever wins amongst all these guys gets to fight against The Miz for the title, like we're seeing now. And yeah, Darren Young won, so now he's there. And yeah, Darren Young did a decent fight, put up a good fight against The Miz and everything. Just the weirdest thing happened is that, what's her face? Maryse slapped Bob Backlund for whatever reason. And then she did like the whole thing where she like falls and pretends that she was the one that got smacked or something. And I don't know, like whatever, you know, like the match kind of stopped. The Miz and Darren Young were kind of confused. The Miz, of course, got out because maybe he thinks that he did really smack her. And he started talking to Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund just acted crazy and tore off his shirt, or tried to tear off his shirt. It was very awkward, half hanging off. It was weird. And the Miz shoved him on his back. Darren Young just lost it, jumped down, started beating the living crap out of the Miz, and of course like a double count out, disqualification or whatever. So in the end, the Miz still wins because, you know, disqualification or whatever. But it's still weird. It's just weird at that whole thing. You know, I guess that was Maryse's intention. I don't know. I mean, it would have made more sense if she pretended that Darren Young slapped her, because of course that would have been instant disqualification. But why mess with Bob Backlund? weird, you know. And Bob Backlund's weird too. Maybe because he's like old. Maybe that's a joke because he's gone senile. But when I remember him back in the day in WWF, when it was still WWF, back in the day, he acted normal. He acted like a more like an old school veteran wrestler that wasn't about flash and flare, just good old wrestling. But he wasn't like crazy like he is now. I guess that's his new thing now. I don't know. So anyways, so Miz is still champion, you know. So anyways, then we have this thing here. We got John Cena teaming up with Esno and Big Cass, you know, and fighting against AJ Styles and I always forget these guys' names, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, because for the last month or so, well, and also the last pay-per-view, even though that pay-per-view was supposed to be AJ versus Cena without the club, they even signed a contract that says no club, they still came in cheap anyway whenever the referee was like unconscious or whatever. And yeah, so every week, like, it doesn't matter if Cena's fighting against either AJ or one of the club members, all three of them will still gang up on him anyway. And apparently Cena says, like I'm not even fighting these guys. I could be having like a completely different match, and they'll still come in and beat me up, you know? And, like, they're like, well, no one's going to come and help you until, for whatever reason, Esno and Cass just showed up and started fighting. And Cass is like, the way I see it, sooner or later, you guys are going to come after us, too. So we're going to step up instead of just waiting around, you know? So, yeah, you know how it is. They're super wild and crazy. Esno is just crazy on the mic, and everybody's just cheering it up. Everybody's quoting him, all that stuff, you know. Now they got John Cena involved, you know. You can't see me and you can't teach that. How you doing? Like, all the catchphrases all over the place, and the audience just eats it up. Like, whenever they're talking, everyone in the crowd quotes the whole, there's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you, and all that stuff. So they're like real popular. But the thing is, once the match actually started, though, Esno was basically a rag doll. I mean, he put up almost no offense. They really beat him up badly. It looked kind of silly. I mean, I know that's their fighting style too, where Cass kind of picks up Esno and throws him against some dude. So it was kind of funny how he did that against them and stuff. But, like, Esno didn't do all that much besides all the talking. It took a while for Cena to finally get into the match. Of course, Cena came in there. He started kicking ass. Big Cass started kicking ass. From the club members, I forgot who's the bigger guy besides between Anderson and Gallows, but the bigger guy, yeah, he was trouble, man. He was cleaning house. He even picked up Big Cass and slammed him down and everything. So he was probably more dangerous than AJ Styles was, you know. And yeah, Esno did redeem himself, though. He did come in and take him on by himself and did a couple of good stuff there. In the end, AJ Styles was trying to do the Styles Clash, but Cena somehow reversed it and grabbed him. And later he grabbed him like on top of the rope and stuff. Basically an AA off the top rope. And that's all she wrote. So John Cena wins, and of course Esno and Cass are all cool. They hug and stuff, and it's like a weird thing because it's like, you know, they're not like this is like I guess like a one-shot deal or something. That's kind of interesting. And another thing is that it looks like AJ Styles is going to be like on one brand, I forgot which one, while Gallows and Anderson are going to be in another brand, and, you know, I guess the club gets separated or something, but AJ Styles said that, no, we're not separating, we're just like spreading, so I guess we'll see what that means. And finally, of course, the main event, Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, triple threat match for the title, the Shield together. You know, they've always been together. They've been dominant when they started out before Seth Rollins betrayed them. And, you know, now you see that Seth Rollins basically became a bitch with the authority. We saw he cashed in on Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. He became the champion. Due to an injury, he lost the title. During all that time, Roman Reigns became champion. And then now this big match, the previous match, yeah, Money in the Bank was the previous match where Rollins came back and defeated Roman Reigns, but then Dean Ambrose cashed in and now he's a champion. So now we got this big triple threat. And of course, the way triple threats work is that you don't necessarily have to tag pin the actual champion. Anyone that gets pinned, like, you win the title. So yeah, it's a pretty intense match. I'm trying to remember any details because it's I don't know. Well, the thing that really stood out the most is that they determined that of all the people, Roman Reigns was the bigger threat because he was like the powerhouse. So temporarily, Dean Ambrose and Rollins actually teamed up to pick up Reigns and slam him through one of the announcing tables, which kind of left him out of the match for a while. And another thing also is, of course, like all the hatred, like Like, they placed that Rollins theme. Everyone starts cheering like crazy. They put Roman Reigns theme. Everyone boos the fucking house down. And then Dean Ambrose, everyone cheers again. And now Stephanie was there because, you know, Stephanie runs Raw and her general manager is Mick Foley. And Shane runs Smackdown and Daniel Bryan is the general manager. So they were all there because, basically speaking, Dean Ambrose was on SmackDown, so he has the title, you know, and either Roman Reigns or Rollins are both on Raw, so the whole thing is, they want to keep the title with their respective brands, so it's a very big deal. If Dean Ambrose wins, he keeps the title on SmackDown, and if anyone else wins, it goes to Raw, even though I can tell that Stephanie prefers Rollins to win over Roman Reigns. So anyways, lots of fighting, lots of action. I'm trying to remember any specific things, but I mean, it was just a bunch of, I forgot the details, just a lot of fighting and stuff. I do know that when they drew Reigns through the announcement table, that did kind of pull him out of fight for a bit. It was a bit of Ambrose and Rollins. They're doing all their moves, the dirty deeds, the, the pedigree. Reigns did come back in the match, did a couple of Superman punches and everything. And let me try to remember here. I think in the end, Rollins did manage to grab Roman Reigns in the pedigree, and it looked like it was going to be like the end, but then Ambrose came in, grabbed him, dirty deeds, he won, he's the champion, he still retains, and I was like surprised because I really thought they were going to give the title to Rollins, not that I wanted it, but that's the thing, and so it's like a big deal with the brands. They kept showing these extra scenes of, I guess, all the Raw people watching the monitors and crap and cheering, and all the SmackDown people in their own room watching and whatever. So it's like a real big thing though. And what can I say? It was a pretty good match. It was pretty exciting. It's just the usual. I'm just kind of sick of this hatred for Roman Reigns. And they did the famous thing where, like, he punches Ambrose, boo. Ambrose punches back, hey. Reigns hits him, boo, yay. And there was even a time where Reigns smacked him like 3 times in a row. So everybody was there saying, boo, boo, boo. It's like, dude, he's not that bad. You know, they really hate him. And that's the thing. I was talking to Pop Culture Junkie, shout out, and I was asking, like, we were talking about who we think was going to win, and he was hoping for either, like, Reigns or Ambrose and stuff, and I was thinking, like I really wanted Ambrose to win, because he just became champion, like, less than a month ago. It would really suck for him to lose the title so quickly, but I was really afraid that they were going to have Rollins win, because for whatever reason, everyone loves him now, and technically speaking, like you said, the title he never officially lost. It was due to injury, you know. But I do know that Roman Reigns won. Oh, they would have booed the whole fucking house down and caused riots. They would have been like so pissed off if Roman Reigns still won. No one wants to see him champion again. Like it's so like whatever. So anyways, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember that many highlights. Lots of interesting things happened. I mean, they were all over each other. There was like this one time where I think Ambrose landed off the top rope on top of Roman Reigns and stuff, and when he rolled off, like literally out of nowhere, Rollins just came and frog splashed him. Like the camera wasn't even on him the whole time, so you just randomly see Rollins just frog splash him out of nowhere, you know. Oh, and then of course, no disqualification, so Seth Rollins did grab the steel chair and bash Ambrose in the back, kind of like the whole Shield the betrayal thing. He also bashed Reigns in the back with the steel chair and all that, so that was a bit of like a flashback there too. But yeah, like I said, in the end, Dean Ambrose won. And basically all the people from SmackDown came in and lifted him up, and he had the belt, and it was like an epic scene. I saw like Becky, Lynch, and John Cena and all them were there too. And so yeah, that was like the whole big thing. And now another thing I want to know is that, so since Dean Ambrose is a champion and the belt stays at SmackDown, and I guess Rollins and Reigns are on Raw, so does that mean they can't fight them anymore? I mean, that's what I'm trying to think. So I guess Raw has no title now, and Reigns and Rollins can't really go after Ambrose anymore for a rematch or whatever. I don't know how that works. Maybe for the pay-per-views, because pay-per-views are always kind of, like, they kind of cross everyone over. But I don't know how that works. So the question is, now on SmackDown, who's going to be the next contender to go after after Ambrose? You know, who's going to be the next, you know, big feud for Ambrose for the title? Because it won't be Rollins and Reigns anymore. And another thing is that now without the title, what's Reigns gonna do? What's Rollins gonna do? Especially Rollins. He's a big crybaby bitch. I don't know. Like, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm kind of curious what's gonna happen with that. Like, what's he gonna do? Because he's not gonna stand for that. That he wants a title belt and he can't get it because it's not on his show anymore. So I don't know what's gonna happen. That's so weird. Because this whole brand split is just so, like, whatever, you know. So anyways, guys, bottom line, good pay-per-view. It was very entertaining. Bayley, I wish Bayley did more stuff though. Like, you bring her in there, make her do her moves, man. Like, I think she has a move where she kind of hugs you, because that's the whole hugger thing, and slams you back like that. You know, let her do her moves. You know, Natalya and Becky. I wish Becky won, but they both put on a very good show. As no one cast are funny. The New Day, Bray Wyatt, you know, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens was a lot more entertaining than I thought it would be, because I'm kind of sick of them, but they actually put a good show. You know, everything was good. The main event, like, the whole thing was pretty awesome. I think that this was one of the better pay-per-views. I don't really think there was any match that was boring, because even the Rusev versus Zack Ryder, I was still rooting for Zack Ryder to win, because he was putting up a good fight against Rusev. He was actually holding his own. So, like, yeah, everything was good. The whole pay-per-view was exciting. But now this is the last pay-per-view before the draft goes into effect. So I have to see what happens tomorrow and Smackdown also. And the next pay-per-view, like what's gonna happen now? How is SummerSlam gonna get affected by this? Which, of course, has Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. We'll see how that goes down. So, anyways, guys, this is Mark Rodriguez here. I rambled on long enough. What do you guys think? Oh, wow, I can't even talk anymore. What do you guys think of the pay-per-view? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite match? Are you happy that Dean Ambrose is still champion? Or do you prefer Seth Rollins? Or does anyone prefer Roman Reigns? I know everybody hates him. I think he's cool, but whatever. Anyways, guys, Mark Rodriguez here. And see you all next time. See you for the next pay-per-view.